In August 2016, the Minister of Education, Adamu, directed all Parent Teachers Association (PTA) officials to vacate all offices they operated in the 104 unity colleges across the country. This was the period one of the federal government colleges in the southwest of Nigeria charged parents 10,000 naira, while government standard parent levy fee is 5,000 naira in all unity schools. This led to the cancellation of PTA development levy by the federal government. The PTA, in response to government's declaration, announced that this would lead to the layoff of about 1,000 teaching and non-teaching staff that the PTA employed to make up for shortage of staff in the schools.
Education is the bedrock for the development of every society. What premium does the Nigerian government place on education? How much is budgeted for? How well are these funds utilized? What quality of teachers, students, and graduates are learning institutions churning out? For answers, join us on Leaves and Worms, an expository and incisive program showing every week on AD4 TV radio and supported by Wale Soyinka Center for Journalism, sponsored by MacArthur Foundation. Don't miss it.
The government insisted that the new measures were to arrest the shocking trend of incessant development levies imposed on parents. Over the years, PTA financial demands have grown to become higher than the school fees charged by government, which established the unity schools. The government, after the 2016 PTA crisis in the southwest of the country, restored its support for the activities of the PTA in federal government colleges and, by extension, other schools across the state and the Federal Capital Territory. This, no doubt, provided an atmosphere where PTA operate what can be considered a parallel government in most federal government colleges and state schools. A delve into the functions of PTA revealed that Parent Teachers Association are to represent the views of parents and guidance of the students and pupils in the schools. The PTA is also to influence policy development at the school level, while they equally raise funds to support the management of the school. This means that PTAs are non-commercial, non-sectarian, non-partisan bodies that comprises of parents' legal guidance of students, teachers, and administrative staff of the school, whose aim is to collaborate to promote students' educational success and well-being. Well, an occurrence in the federal government Girls College Buhari revealed that the PTA still have well-established office facilities in building with facilities such as laboratories and bookshops, among others, that were built by the PTA. The office facilities run with full complement of an administrative and operational staff. A parent whose daughter gained admission into federal government Girls College Buhari shared her experience on the college's PTA social media platform.
Good day, parents. I'm writing this with pains in my heart. I have a child in SS1 and I did the medical test in government hospital as it was written that the test should be carried out in government hospital. My other daughter is newly admitted into JS1 now, and the medical page on admission brochure states that the part 2 is to be completed by a medical officer from a government hospital. With my NHIS, this wouldn't have cost me much. but we are compelled to do it in the college clinic at the rate of 19,750 naira. The most painful aspect of it is that the doctors still refer us to government hospital to rerun the test. I told her that this is unfair and that they should have allowed us to run this test initially at a government hospital. Having paid 19,750 naira, we will still go and pay for rerun in another government hospital. This is unfair at all. According to the doctor, this is orchestrated by PTA.
A concerned parent on the platform responds to this anomaly.
This is a criminal act. I don't know why some people choose to be so criminalized but so complaining of government bad leadership. If you can see how members PTA Buhari do criticize Buhari's government, it will surprise you. You can imagine this. They criticize Buhari, Chris Ngigi, Adamu for the issue of ASU strike as if they were saints. You can imagine what's going on in an FGGC Buhari. Our PTA chairman and his team can be corrupt like this? No. When this man was campaigning, he promised heaven and earth, but you can imagine the way he's ruling us. It's mean the PTA Buhari isn't aware of what's going on? If yes, why are they not saying anything about it? We should please raise and defend ourselves. Please send all your payments both at FGGC Buhari Clinic and the hospital you refer to. Let us battle it at Ministry of Education.
Another parent named Olawumi Adunola expressed her concern about the inconsistency in the medical laboratory test for the new intakes of the college.
Good evening, parent. This so-called ESCO have a lot of questions to answer. 1. Those who made payments during holiday paid 19,750 naira for the clinic test, irrespective of class your girl is coming into, and later changed it to 16,750 naira. What happens to the 3,000 naira difference? We are waiting for refund. Every new student paid 7,000 naira for PTA instead of stipulated 5,000 naira by the government. The extra 2,000 is for what? Parents, is this how we are going to sit and fold our arms and this so-called ESCO will lord anything they like on us? They have taken over the clinic as their business center. Among we parents, I know we have Ministry of Education staff, DSS, NIA, DRA, EFCC, ICPC, police, army, journalists, human rights and fellow parents that we elected are doing what they like and we are watching.
Parents have continued to ask questions from the PTA executives on the platform. Gabriel Ubeduma takes the discussion further and requests for the intervention of the anti-graft agencies in the activities of Parent Teachers Association at the Federal Government Girls College, Buhari.
I agree with you. The PTA ESCOs are here. They couldn't defend any of this. What did they do with the last year's 12,000 naira? Think of how much that was realized last year. 12,000 naira multiplied by how many students? This year, 19,750 naira if you paid through bank and 20,000 naira if you made transfer. PTA ESCOs have turned the school into their private school, but they should remember God. Some of these parents they are extorting could not drink water from this money, but they allot money for their refreshment. Some of these parents don't have cars, they struggle to bring their children, but the PTA ESCOs allot money for their transport or for fueling their cars. Some of these parents could not settle any other thing until they settle the children, but the PTA ESCOs will settle themselves with the sweat of both parents.
ICPC should swing into action. I know that there's a coalition that took that upon themselves, and I think unless something is done. For us, that's our position. The number of out of school will increase because there are parents that are willing to take their kids to school.
Omubisin bidu mepe na lobola. Ole okwa ndi ochichi Federal Capital Territory Nigeria yoromumu. Ole ihe nkwado ananyanya. Kedu otu esi iji nkwado niile ahụ eme ihe? Ụdị ndị nkuzi ole, ụmụ akwụkwọ na ndị gụchara n'akwụkwọ ka ha na-atụpụta n'ebe ọmụmụ ala anyị. Iji nweta nwanye ọsịsa ajụjụ ndị a, soronye anyị n'emume Leaves and Worms ebe a na-akọwapụta ma kọwamie ihe n'izu ụka ọbụla na mgbakọ ndị AD4 TV Radio nke onye ọkammụta Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism ma nwekwa nkwado ndị otu MacArthur Foundation. Ohere a agafekwala gị.
In a telephone interview, Joshua Aroguyo, a social intervention specialist, speaks with AD4 TV Radio on the activities of PTA.
Well, let us also be careful when we use the word constitutional roles because, it's a voluntary organization and so there are basically no constitutional rules. The only thing where maybe we'll look at constitutional rules from the purpose for which it was established. So you also have to understand that there are also schools that don't have anything called PTA. The idea of the PTA was a way of, just like you have relationship, teacher-student relationship, it was also a way to foster parent-teacher relationship. So the parents already have a relationship with their children, with their words, but the parents do not know these teachers. So it was important to create this, or it's important to create this platform where parents can interact with teachers and of course school management and get first-hand information as regarding development happenings in the school and the initiative the school is taking in fostering education and fostering teaching and learning. So that's the idea. So the role varies from school to school. Certain schools you see that their role is to contribute money to do this, to do that, while some other school it is very passive. So there are no clearly spelled out roles for each PTA that you say this PTA has this responsibility to do this and that one has this. No, it is school dependent, location specific. There are a lot of variables. However, the general overarching responsibility of Parents Teachers Association is to foster relationship. It is relationship first, and then to understand, to create an opportunity where the parents understand what is happening in the schools, and then the school also understand the pulse of the parents. That's basically what it is.
Salau Flores, another parent on the Federal Government Girls College Buhari platform, in a message, suspected connivance between the PTA and the school management.
I've suggested it once that the school authority should have a representative on this platform to enable the authority to have a feedback mechanism from going on between the parents and the school's PTA schools. But we can see the conspiracy of silence between PTA schools and school authority over the rate of alarm and corrupt attitude of these parents. PTA schools, our elders says, when you see fire burning and dancing on top of water, definitely the drama is beneath the water. For me, since there is conspiracy of silence between the two authorities, the PTA schools and the school authority, this matter of corrupt attitudes of our PTA school and the complete silence of the school authority over the matter should be reported to Federal Ministry of Education and EFCC.
Abdullahi Saleh, the national moderator of Sakefa in the FCT, describes the activities of the PTA as worrisome.
I realize that the PTA connives with the school authority. Otherwise, the school authority has no business with that. PTA is a different entity, though yes, parents and teachers. But then I do not expect that the school authority should be found doing this. I understand again that the UB Act says that if any principal is caught collecting any fee, he will be fined 10,000 naira or so. I spoke with the director in the ministry, and he told me that the head of schools opts to pay those fines because they make more money, so they opt to pay those fines. That is very discouraging, because I think we should now go beyond fines. These people should lose their jobs so that it will serve as a deterrent to others. That is it. That's the situation.
There came a defense from a member of the FGGC PTA executives, Onyeka Iheanacho,
concerning the issues relating to the medical. The parents who brought the issue to the platform withheld some vital information because I had to call the lab scientist for clarification, which she told me that the child in question tested positive for TB and the mother was referring to Buhari General Hospital for further investigation, which is normal medical practice. More so, that Dr. Dami obliged to assist. It may interest you to know that we encounter a lot on this work, ranging from parents coming with fake medical results to parents going as far as submitting fake and forged bank tellers just to evade paying the PTA levy.
The aggrieved parents defends herself with evidence and fact.
This is not true. Which information did I withhold? I brought the issue to platform because I was referred back to government hospital to rerun hepatitis C. When I asked for the reason, the lab scientist was tossing me up and down, saying it was blurry, it was not clear, and I ended up in Nyanya General Hospital. My child does not have TB. I reran the test for hepatitis C and it was negative. Please always give correct reports. What equipment do you even have in the clinic that made you people to force students to run tests there? I entered the lab and I saw the facilities there. Can you compare it to General Hospital's facilities? Is it not the General Hospital they eventually referred my daughter to? Do you think it's all parents that will submit forged and fake results? I'm not a new parent, and it's not only FGGC Buhari I have children. I did comprehensive medical tests for my children. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, my daughter did not have TB. It was blood machine that said she's positive for hepatitis C, and I finally went to government hospital that confirmed her negative. I'll post the results here. You can tell your doctor to challenge me.
Abuja residents share their opinions on PTA members taking over the government responsibilities.
It beats my imagination that any school will leave projects or development of a school to the PTA. It's man's inhumanity to man, if you allow me to put it that way. For a school now, for government of any sane society to leave development of a school or the building or the facilitation of a school to the PTA. For crying out loud, this is supposed to be the duty of the government, because these are schools that are run by government and there is an allocation mapped out in the budget of the federation to run and manage these schools. So if any government or if any school is leaving out the PTA, making it their duty to carry out projects or development of schools, it's a far cry.
Very sad. The role of PTA should be complementary and not them taking over the basic things. The government should be supposed to provide the basic infrastructures and other things. Then if PTA are now taking over the development of facilities or establishment of what do I call it, some project in the school sectors, educational sector, I think it's very, very wrong, and it should be discouraged. Government should do more to discourage people from there. At least PTA can come in to complement the government effort and not taking over the structure. It's really sad.
PTA, is a kind of people coming together to see, the improvement, the development and all that. There is no seriousness over there. There's no seriousness.
Is an added burden upon the parents, because so many times you have to pay extra levy, extra fee, extra, contribution here and there for you to get the best for the children. So I don't think it's the good thing to experience, that the parents have to take over the responsibility of the government. It's not a good idea. It's not a welcome development at all. However, it is a common phenomenon in all public schools that the government is supposed to take responsibility of certain things, but they are failing. So the government, the PTA now took it as a responsibility upon themselves to do some of those things.
ẹ̀kọ́ ní ìpìlẹ̀ ìdàgbàsókè gbogbo àwùjọ. Ipò wo ni àwọn alákòóso FCT gbé ètò ẹ̀kọ́ sí gan? Èló ni owó tí wọ́n yà sọ́tọ̀ fún nínú ètò ìṣúná? Báwo ni wọ́n ṣe ná owó tí wọ́n yà sọ́tọ̀ fún? Kí ni ìgbéléwọ̀n àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́, olùkọ́ni àti àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ gboyè tí àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga wa ń pèsè gan? Fún àwọn ìdáhùn lóríṣiríṣi, darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí ètò Leaves and Worms, ètò akọ́nilọ́gbọ́n àti ìlanilọ́yẹ tí yóò máa wáyé sí ojú ìwòran yín ní ọ̀sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ lórí ẹ̀rọ móhùnmáwòrán AD4 TV Radio, Wọlé Ṣóyínká Center for Investigative Journalism pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn MacArthur Foundation ló ṣe onígbọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀. Ẹ má pàdánù rẹ̀ o.
Others have this to say.
There are bodies also like school-based management committees. Apart from PTA, you have SBMC, that's school-based management committee. These are other two bodies in conjunction with the government that are set to manage a school. So the PTA, you know, it's not a new thing. They have their responsibility, considering the mercy where the environment of the school where their children are receiving education. So certainly, there is a provision for the PTA to come into it, and also school management. But I also want to believe that it is going to become a responsibility for PTA and school-based management committee. From experience again, an authority will ask me as a head of a school that why am I complaining? Don't I have PTA? Don't I have school-based management committee? Then it goes back to say that you, the head, is inexperienced. The head teacher, the principal, is not cooperating with the community. So they will cast the blame on you. So therefore, school heads will now begin to mount pressure on PTA and school-based management committee. If you are in the township school, good for you. Because there's these parents that are actually understanding, and they have that helping capacity that they could help. Unfortunately, if you are in the rural area, then sorry, you can only lament, because the parents themselves would wish you to give them, rather for them to contribute. Where it happens, then the story is not good for you to say. There is serious pressure on PTA.
I don't expect my child to go to the school. I pay school fees. I also have to equip the school and contribute to provide infrastructures for that school. When I also pay tax to government, I expect government to provide the infrastructure. The least the government should expect from me is the school fees and any other fees that is necessary, not the infrastructures and not the payment of teachers. The PTA has no business in providing infrastructure or funding the schools. It is the duty of the government to do that.
Ilimi shine ginshikin ci gaban kowace irin al'umma. Wane irin kima ne hukumar gudanarwa na birnin tarayya ta baiwa ilimi? Kasafin nawa ne aka ware wa bangaren ilimi? Ta yaya ake amfani da waɗannan kuɗaɗen da aka ware wa ilimi? Menene matsayin ingancin malamai da ɗalibai da waɗanda suka kammala manyan makarantu da kuma su kansu makarantun da ake gudanar da harkokin koyo da koyarwa? Domin samun amsoshi, kasance tare da Leaves and Worms a cikin shirin baje koli da faɗakarwa wanda ake gabatarwa a kowane mako a tashar AD4 TV Radio, wanda cibiyar Wọlé Ṣóyínká Center for Investigative Journalism tare da haɗin gwiwar gidauniyar MacArthur Foundation suka ɗauki nauyi. A kasance tare da shirin.
That is the much we can take on this episode of Leaves and Worms on the issues of Parent Teachers Association taking over the responsibilities of government across schools in Abuja.